Hello everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 12 new Wonderkids that are in the game as of the new update, the new transfer update that came out a few days ago. Now I'm going to get a lot of comments about this if I don't mention it. If you don't see these players in your save, it's likely because the league is not loaded, or as has been common for a lot of people recently, you have to start a new save for this update to come into play. Match engine fixes and stuff like that will be in your saves no matter what, but if you want the new players, the new squad update, then you do need to start a new save with the new database loaded. So as I did mention, we're going to be looking at 12 Wonderkids today, some of which are new to the game, and some of which were originally in the game but never had the potential to be a Wonderkid, and some of them actually look really promising, and I'm quite interested in buying quite a few for my save. They range across a few different positions too, so hopefully there's something for everyone. So stick around, watch the video, and if you do enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and comment down below which of these players is your favourite, and are you enjoying the new update so far? I know I am. I'm really liking the little assist feature at the bottom when you score a goal. It tells you who assisted the goal. Simple things like that really improve the playing experience for me. So let me know which of these players is your favourite, what your favourite part of the update was, and let's get into today's video. So let's roll the intro. So the first player we're looking at, guys, is a left back. There are two pretty decent left backs in this list, and this guy is Teo Adaramola from Crystal Palace, the Ireland international, born in 2003, is now classed as a Wonderkid within Football Manager. Every player in this list will have minus 85 potential or above. What that means is their potential range is anywhere from 140 to 170. So if you load up a save, they'll be anywhere between that range, all of these players. Sometimes they'll be 170s, which is probably where you'll notice them in your save and go, wow, who's that? Sometimes they'll be 140s, which still makes a very good player. So these players, I think, are all pretty good bets if they're pretty cheap to pick up to get them into your youth team. And Teo Adaramola should I say, is one of them, because he can be approached to sign. I'm here with Liverpool. I don't know what kind of quality of club you'll need to be to approach to sign him, but straight away you can approach to sign him with Liverpool at least. And the media class him as a promising fullback. We've got quite a lot of players to get through in this list, so I won't stick around on him for too long. But we can see he's a physically strong left back with a nice bit of pace, which is always good, because he does look like an attacking style left back, which is backed up by the fact that he's got decent crossing, decent dribbling, and actually really high finishing for a left back. He has good determination, at least in this save that we've loaded up here, as well as some other nice mental attributes that should, alongside some nice training, mentoring, and eventually game time, make him a future Premier League level left back. I think he definitely has that ability, and I'm sure he'll be part of Ireland's national team within your saves if you progress forward. So I think he's a very nice player, an attacking style left back, and yeah, that's the first guy on this list. Okay, so it wouldn't be a Football Manager Wonderkid list without a Brazilian Wonderkid, and we are looking at Keiki. We're going to call him Keiki, the Brazilian 17-year-old right winger. Before we talk about him though, just a quick plug that I do have my own channel where we're running a Lil Save, which hasn't long started, so if you want to get involved in that early on, it would mean a lot. You guys are showing me some crazy support right now on my channel and on that series, so if any of you guys want to check that out, then feel free to come over. The link to it will be in the description. But that's the plug done. Here we are with Keiki, the 17-year-old Brazilian right winger. His name is still making me laugh. He's physically very strong. He's left-footed only and pretty much only suited to this right-hand side. So you can imagine he's going to be either an inside forward or an inverted winger. He could probably do both pretty decently. I haven't scouted him enough to know, but based on his attributes, I think he'll do all right at both of them. Physically, like I did say, quite strong, pacey, naturally fit with a nice bit of stamina. He's determined with some other nice mental attributes, like some good flair, as all the Brazilian Wonderkids seem to have, and some nice off the ball. And then technically is where he really shines, with really good technique for his age, good dribbling, good finishing, nice first touch, nice crossing, nice passing, actually really good passing. He's someone that I might look to do a Wonderkid to Superstar episode on. If there is someone in particular that you want me to do one on, then do let me know. If we ask the agent about this player's availability, we can see that as Liverpool, we'd have to pay somewhere between £2.3 to £4 million to sign him. Might be a bit on the excessive side for a 17-year-old, but we've all done it before. We've all invested that kind of money in a Wonderkid, and this guy definitely has the potential to go far. So that is Keiki. I did forget to mention the team he's playing for. He is playing in the Brazilian divisions for FLU, if you don't have any of the name packs on, in the first division. And I believe that is Fluminense. I don't really know how you pronounce that, but yeah, that's who he plays for, and that is the second player on our list. A nice little right winger. I think he's quite a good player. I'm trying to speed through these as quick as possible for you guys, so that I don't waste any time, because I know a lot of you don't want every single detail about these players. But I'm going to mention that Moukoko won't be in this video. He is obviously a new Wonderkid, but he is in a video that we did a couple of days back. So if you want to check him out, over a 10-year growth period, then do that. But someone that has impressed me, not just as much because Moukoko is absolutely flying, but Alfie Devine, the Tottenham 15-year-old, looks like a really, really good player. And you can approach to sign him straight away. I've tried with Liverpool here, and if we want to, we can do it. I would imagine you have to be a club at Tottenham's level or higher. So what's that, Tottenham level? Like 1-star reputation maybe? Only joking, Tottenham fans, but here he is. He has nice physical attributes for a central midfielder. He can also play in the attacking midfield role, but he looks really strong for a 15-year-old, particularly mentally, with some really nice mental attributes, which will obviously help him in performing better within the match engine. You'll have to pay a bit of compensation, of course, with any of these players that you do approach to sign. Here it says £675,000 would be expected for compensation, which I'd take that any day. It looks like a great player who would really boost your youth teams and eventually get into the first team. Decent technical attributes too. Yeah, I just think a really nice player, Alfie Devine. Someone that I'm actually quite excited to see how he does in both real life and within saves. And we have a new wonderkid goalkeeper, Alex Padilla, Atletico Bilbao's under-19s team. The 16-year-old Spanish international looks like a decent young goalkeeper. I actually sometimes hate doing goalkeepers in these videos because they're so hard to describe. I can't really look at all his attributes and say that he's particularly good or particularly bad, but he's decent physically, decent mentally, and has decent goalkeeping attributes. But all you need to know is he does have very good potential to go on and be a top level keeper. His agent says that Bilbao will be looking for around £2 to £5 million for him. Again, a lot of money, but if you've got the money to spare, why not? Or maybe just keep an eye on his contract situation and see if you can get him as his contract does start to expire. Swiftly moving on to a Croatian 17-year-old central midfielder slash attacking midfielder playing for RB Salzburg in Austria. It's Luka, and I'm really liking the look of this guy. Physically, really impressive, left-footed, doesn't really lack in any area and has pretty much everything he needs to be a strong, marauding central midfielder. He's only young as well, so he's obviously going to develop there. Mazzala is apparently his best role, box-to-box midfielder suggested too. I can kind of see that. He's got some nice mental attributes, some decent all-round technical attributes too. He does seem more suited to the attacking side of the game than the defensive side, but I'm sure he can learn both. And yeah, he just looks like a good midfielder. If we do have a look at what the agent would want for him, we can see that he has only just signed his contract with a new club, which suggests that you guys can't get your hands on him straight away, but he does look like a nice prospect, and of course he is a wonderkid now, so keep your eyes on him. Maybe you'll see him progress in your saves, add him to your shortlist, see how he gets on. If you can pick him up, why not? We've already seen a goalkeeper from Atletico Bilbao, and they've got another player for the future here in Zoonai Gomez, the central midfielder, 17 years old. Doesn't look amazing at first glance at the age of 17. We've seen some 15-year-olds who arguably had better attributes than him already, but you know, he does have wonderkid potential. He's got some nice physical attributes, decent mental attributes too, as well as a couple of nice technicals that can definitely help him in being a nice creative player. He's got some nice passing, technique and vision already at his age, as well as some nice first touch as well. So he's probably going to be pinging off some passes, but he does need some work in some areas. So that is Zoonai Gomez, central midfielder. And if we go and have a look at how much he would cost for our team, we could see it would be about £1 million for him. Not the worst in the world, considering you'll probably sell him on for a profit, even if he doesn't turn out to be a first team player for you. And of course, if you're Liverpool, you're probably not looking at a player like this. But not everyone's playing as Liverpool. I've only picked Liverpool here as a random pick. So, you know, for you guys, he might be a really good signing. 6 players left now. We're halfway through and we're looking at another Spanish young player. Spain looks like they're set for the future, at least in these Football Manager simulations. And we have Adrian Corral from Atletico Madrid. The centre-back can also apparently play left-back, but to me, he does scream centre-back. He's 6 foot tall, nice natural fitness, really good determination, at least in this version of the save, because these things can fluctuate when you guys start a save. Some nice physical stats in there too. He's not slow at all. He's quite pacey. He will grow as well as time goes on, and he's one of them elusive things that we're all after in Football Manager, a left-footed centre-back. He's got some good mental attributes with a really high decision attribute too, as well as some good technicals for his age too. 15 heading, 14 tackling, 11 marking. To be honest, if his heading and tackling never went up, he'd still be a really good player. So I think this is definitely one of the more impressive wonderkids that we've seen, Adrian Corral. If we have a look at how much the club would want for him, we can see that he's just recently signed a new contract, so he's not going to be available straight away, but someone again to keep your eye on and see if you can eventually get your hands on him. Only 5 players left now, getting towards the end of today's video, and this guy is someone that I've just been dreading to pronounce his name on video. Derrick's probably definitely wrong. He's a Belgian 17-year-old centre-back. Suggested that he should be a ball-playing centre-back, and for me he is really, really impressive. He plays for Parma in their under-20s team, and he's got decent physical attributes. It's probably the weakest part of his game, but his mentals are really strong, as well as his technicals too, with 15 tackling, 12 marking, 12 passing. He looks like he's going to be a top-level centre-back in the future if you bought Corral and him put them in your youth teams. I'm sure in a few years when they develop a little bit, they'll be straight into your guys' first teams, because these guys do look really, really good. If we go and have a look at how much they'd be expecting for him, we can see he's apparently only just signed his new contract, which means you won't be able to sign him straight away. I mean, you can try, but it's likely going to be a hard job. So that is Dan Derrick's. Again, probably another one to keep your eye on, but I think he will be a top player, another top centre back to look at. Seems like we're stacked with defenders in this video, but I think that's another really good one. And it's quite nice that he's playing for someone like Palmer. No disrespect to Palmer, but there'll be quite a lot of teams who have a higher reputation and can probably pull a player like Dan Derrick's from them and into their own teams. Heading over to Russia now, to Dynamo Moscow, and for the 17-year-old Russian international, Arsen Zakharyan. If you've noticed, I might have cut it there because I've been trying to pronounce his name a few times. He is physically quite nice and strong, mentally again a bit of an all-rounder with some decent technical attributes too. He's seen as an attacking midfielder and can also play central midfield. For me, he's one of the ones on the list that needs a bit more work, but as I do say, he is a wonderkid now and he has wonderkid potential and fairly high wonderkid potential too, so definitely one to keep an eye on and add to your shortlist. Passing definitely needs a bit of work in my eyes, considering they're classing him as like a forward-thinking midfielder. So I think that does need a bit of work, but like I do say, physically, mentally, and pretty much everywhere else technically, he looks like he could be a good player with 13 finishing too. Shadow striker doesn't seem like a bad shout for a player like him. Get him on some passing training so he improves his passing, vision and technique, and I think he'd be a really good advanced playmaker. And if we have a look at how much they would want for him, has he just signed a new contract? Yes, he has. He has only just signed a new contract and would apparently fail to gain a work permit. But again, another one to look at in your shortlist. Not everyone's going to be playing in England as well, of course, so who knows, maybe you can sign him in your saves if you keep an eye on him, a new wonderkid from Russia. Now we're looking at a player playing in a similar position, but for me is much further ahead in his growth. It's Pablo Torre of Racing Santander, who play in the Spanish second division, so he might be a fairly easy one to pick up. Physically, really strong with some nice agility too, either-footed as well, which makes for a really good advanced playmaker because he can go either way really. Really good technical attributes and really good mental attributes too. For me, he's one of the better ones on this list. Really good vision, technique and passing for his age. He actually might be a must-sign for me, to be honest. He looks really good, and he's also at a team that seem like you could probably poach off him quite easily. I'm going to guess he's probably signed a new deal or something like that. We can see he actually hasn't, but Santander know what kind of player they've got in their hands and are expecting a fairly large fee. I've just gone and checked, and I can't do it when my face is here because it covers the buttons, but after I've moved my face away and checked for you guys, he has a release clause of £6 million. I would say might be a bit excessive, but if you can get it a little bit under, or if you're willing to pay for a release clause knowing what kind of player you're going to get, it wouldn't be a bad shout at all because he does look really, really strong. So keep an eye on this guy, add a scout to him, add him to your shortlist, and I'm pretty sure he will be a good player for pretty much any team, maybe even straight away because he does look really, really good technically as well. So that is Pablo Torre. Only 2 players left on this list now, so let's get into them. Another left back now as we look at 15-year-old England international Thierry Small playing for Everton on a youth contract, so again, you can approach to sign him. Physically, he looks really good. He does look like another attacking kind of left back with some really good acceleration, pace, strength and balance, and they're actually at a really high level for a 15-year-old. They're only going to grow, so he could be a real threat on that left hand side when in this match engine speed is so important. He could be someone really good. Mentally, his mentals are actually really strong with some nice determination, really good flair for a left back too. He's going to be doing some tricks on that back line for you, maybe doing some Rabonas to clear it away, who knows. But then technically he's also got some really good technique for his age, good first touch, good dribbling, and he's got a solid skill set to build upon here. I would suggest he might even be useful going further forward, maybe as a wing back, which the game does seem to kind of suggest because he is being tipped as a wing back and a complete wing back here, probably because he hasn't got that good defensive attributes, but they can all be worked on. Only 15 of course, and like I say, you can approach to sign him. Can we do it as Liverpool right now? We can. That's going to cause some problems, the Everton youngster wanting to come to Liverpool, but we'll forget about that for now. That is Thierry Small, 1 player left in this list. If you guys are enjoying the video, then smash that like button, comment down below which of these guys has been your favourite so far, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So let's get into the last player. It's not often you see Greek wonder kids on these lists, but we do have Christos Tokos from PAOK in the Greek leagues. The 18-year-old is valued at £3 million, which I think makes him the highest player in terms of straight up value that we've seen so far. Physically nice and strong, mentally good all round too, and then technically he's actually really good as well for an 18-year-old. He can play on the left wing, up front and right wing. You'll notice a pattern so far that quite a lot of the players have been really young because usually the analysts don't realise how good they are, and then when the update comes around either they get added into the game or they realise their talent like a few of these players and raise them up to wonderkid status. This guy's 18 now, so they must have missed something with him early on, or he's shown some really good improvement recently, but he does look like a really good winger, and for the last player on this list I think he's a pretty good one, so we will see how much he would cost. We can see that again, he's another one that doesn't really want to join straight away because he's recently signed a deal. Don't let that stop you bidding though, and don't let it stop you adding him to a shortlist and just keeping an eye on him, because I think he would make a really good winger, maybe even a backup winger for a top level club, and then eventually he will develop and be a starting winger for most teams in the world, I would suggest, at this rate. Just needs to have a bit of work on his passing, but other than that he looks set to be a top winger. So that will be the last player in this list. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see next with the update just coming out. We are in the works of doing a Moukoko simulation from, we finished it at 25 years old last time. We're going to go all the way until the end of his career to see how he got on, because a lot of you guys were asking for that. So hopefully you did enjoy today's video. Don't forget to check out my channel if you would like to in the description, and thank you for watching. We'll hopefully see you next time, guys. So stay safe and goodbye.